See the process? President Trump signed that executive order while in the Oval Office with Joel Pollak of the brand new California Post. You see a picture of that there. After breaking that story, Joel Pollak, opinion editor at the California Post, joins me now with his brand new hat, which looks familiar, and the copy of the California Post, which just launched yesterday.
That's right.
Congratulations on the brand new venture. What is the executive order?
The executive order essentially takes over the permitting process, especially where any federal money is involved at the state and local level, with the goal of speeding up the rebuilding process, not just in Pacific Palisades, but also in the area of the Eaton fire. And there's a separate section of the executive order that looks at $3 billion that the federal government gave to the state of California for spending to prevent or mitigate wildfires, and they want to look at what happened to the money and how it was spent.
And so he's suggesting that Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator, is now going to oversee all this?
Yeah, we asked him who he thought would be in charge, and he said Lee Zeldin, because Lee Zeldin, the head of the EPA, managed to clear the hazardous waste out of Pacific Palisades and the Eaton fire zone in 28 days. Originally, they were supposed to do it in 90 days. Then Trump said that's not fast enough. He gave him a deadline of 30 days. And Zeldin and the EPA did it in 28 days. So Trump has a lot of confidence in him.
And we know there was a lot of widespread praise in terms of FEMA, how they did it. We know there's been a lot of residents frustrated by the pace in terms of the permitting. Governor Newsom didn't like the way that this all went down. His press office put out on X, legitimate journalistic integrity question. Why did the president sign an EO in secret with one Murdoch outlet, yours, present, then allow it to be buried for 5 days, because we didn't even know about this until yesterday, until that outlet launched its new money-making product? That's not reporting, that's propaganda. What's your response to that?
You know, I used to get irritated as a California resident, and especially as a Pacific Palisades resident who saw my neighborhood destroyed. I used to get irritated when Newsom and the press office account would say things like that. But it hit me today, as I was thinking about this executive order, that one of the reasons President Trump acted was precisely because Newsom and his press office were being so rude, so provocative, trolling him all the time. I think he just decided to step in and say, okay, I'm going to show you that I can do your job better than you can. And again, that annoyance that I had turned into surprise and maybe even appreciation for Governor Newsom, because if he hadn't been such a jerk, Trump never would have acted.
Well, I mean, the thing that Newsom says, and not just Newsom, a lot of even some of the Republicans from this state says that the region needs federal money because you can't do this alone. California doesn't have enough money to pay for all of this. There is a supplemental that some Republicans in the House are asking to help fund recovery. Did you ask President Trump about that, and is he going to agree to it just like so many presidents have in the past?
You know, I asked White House officials early last year, right after the fire, what they were planning to do. And their attitude was, the president always lets this money go through. We're just going to give the state of California whatever they ask for. As Newsom began suing Trump over every policy in court and trolling him on social media, that attitude changed. People felt that the relationship between the state government and the federal government had been destroyed. And now I think there are going to be conditions. And one of the conditions you can start to see in this executive order, where there's going to be monitoring, there are going to be certain benchmarks the state has to hit. Basically, the federal government wants to make sure that California is spending the money properly and that taxpayers aren't throwing good money after bad. So I do think there's going to be a special master or some monitoring mechanism.
But did you get the sense that President Trump actually will send money in at all, though, even under those conditions?
He didn't say no. I did ask him about it. I said, is Newsom the obstacle to the $34 billion or to more money coming through? And he just sidestepped that question. He really wanted to focus on the rebuilding and the permitting. What was also interesting was that he and Gavin Newsom had a friendly conversation at Davos in Switzerland. Even though Newsom is out there attacking the president fighting back, it makes you wonder how much of the confrontation is political theater.
And we know that in the past, both of them have gotten along well. So you can read about all this and more in the brand new California Post, which you can buy at newsstands and also on your website at California Post as well.